Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. Well, in Lagos, southwest of the country where we are broadcasting from, you know when they say about cats and dogs, that it's raining cats and dogs? Well, today has been that kind of a day, but here we are. It depends. For all of this, geography, geology is the way it is. It might not even rain in some parts of Lagos, southwest of the country. Anyhow, on to business of the day. And it is NASS proposal, the NASS proposal, all other things being equal, to scrap electricity bands A, B, C, D tariff categories. Well, there's going to be a lot that can be said about that. Nobody sort of minded when they came up with the A, B, C, D, E, discriminatory rates. Depending on if you were on A, it was the highest, and if you were in D, it was the lowest. But what we have now is that even those on band A have been complaining bitterly that it's been a virtual waste of money. Not just private people, not just, but also businesses. Okay, Mr. Adetayo Adegbenle, CEO of Power Up Nigeria, is our guest this morning. And we called on him to sort of give us his perspective on this whole scenario. One, what does he think about the... Good morning to you, Mr. Adetayo Adegbenle. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Uncle Yori, good morning. It's always a pleasure to be with you, sir.
Thank you very much. So, yes, sir. This proposal, what do you think of this proposal that is in the air now, that the National Assembly has received so many petitions from all over the place and is now considering scrapping the whole band A to D area and replacing it with something much more effective? Your thoughts, first of all, on the whole concept. And also, by the way, what you think of the bands A to D?
It's interesting that when the subsidy was removed from band A in 2023 April, I was on this same program with you.
That's right. I'm sure I recall.
Yes. And, one of the arguments that I was trying to put forward was that what a lot of people consider to be increment in tariff is not necessarily increment, it was right pricing of tariff.
Okay.
And this was because it was obvious that government could not continue to carry the subsidy burden. As at that April that we were talking, that program should be precisely April 3rd or 4th, if I'm right, 2023. As at that date, the total subsidy exposure for the power sector to government or the government liability was barely 500 billion. Today, we are talking about 5.6 trillion. If you check the newspapers yesterday,
yes,
that report was also published, 5.6 trillion. So what we are trying to solve with the removal of, or the gradual removal of subsidy, we can see that the liability continues to increase.
Mm-hmm.
And the argument here, though, is that like a lot of people will say, it's a chicken and egg situation. Do we give money first, or do we price electricity and expect that the follow through improvement in service delivery, will come after, or do we demand for quality of service first, then ask for the right pricing to be done? So part of the things that government or the regulators were trying to achieve initially was to say, okay, if you are able to get a minimum of 20 hours, which is going to be a top quality power supply, pay the true cost of it. Those that they were not able to receive that quality of service in terms of availability of hours, those are the people that remains in band B downwards. Government should continue to carry subsidy for them. So that is on that. That's the first perspective I want us to understand from.
Okay.
Now, the other end is this. National Assembly came up and said they want to scrap. Number one, it is not in their it's not directly under their purview or control to speak to scrapping of band A, band C. That's where we have the regulators. And again, we should also all be careful the kind of narrative that we push. I'm sorry, if you recall, Uncle Yori, during COVID, National Assembly also promised Nigerians that they are going to that all the electricity for that period, lockdown period, is going to be free. So you ask yourself, how do they plan to do that?
Yes.
Now they want to scrap. How do you plan to scrap? You are not the one that's in charge of tariff setting. You are not the one in terms of the drawing of the industry. National Assembly is not speaking to how the subsidy exposure, or liability on government that has gone to 5.6 trillion, how they're going to resolve that problem. They are not speaking to that, but they are saying they are trying to, panter to public opinion, to public stunt by saying they will scrap band A, B, and C. I think it's beyond them to do that, and I don't think they have the capacity or the authority to even speak to that at all.
Okay, there are those who have said that this whole band, especially the band A, which is the most expensive, but this segmentation,
yes.
That the power generators, they have been very, very inefficient. So the allegations go. Bear with me, just so that we can present this idea.
It is not just power generators, sir. It is the whole sector.
So why are you now taxing, as it were, the consumers for your inefficiency? Because you want your books to be right, but the poor, ordinary consumer, he's out of pocket. Even the business people are out of pocket. So some have made that argument. What do you think of that whole idea? You say it's not just the Gencos.
No. It's the value chain it's the whole value chain that has problems. Quite all right. I mean, from the Gencos to transmission to distribution companies.
Mm-hmm.
But then the idea behind band A originally,
yes,
the idea behind band A is that if the infrastructure in your area is able to afford to give you 20 hours minimum, right, per day, then you should have you should be able to pay the full cost of the electricity that you use. In a place like Mowe, that is on the, yes, in a place like Ibafor, Magboro, Ibafor, Mowe, that's on the outskirts of Lagos, that the infrastructure there is not able to deliver 24 hours, right? It should not be right to put them on band A. But what we see after the initial, originally, NEC, all the number of feeders that NEC approved for band A, they were less than 500. Then we later saw discos coming up with argument that they can provide this and that. For me, the idea behind removing the subsidy is perfect, because what follows through is that you can now right price everything in the value chain. I mean, a welder that is using the true cost of electricity for his work will receive 20 hours and will be able to transfer the cost to consumers, to his consumers down the lane. Then you can now truly, assess the value of the work he has done, right? Then, pass the cost through. As against when it's subsidized, we're just cheating ourselves by subsidizing. Since the day they removed fuel subsidy, Uncle Yori, I'm very sure that you have not been on the queue one day.
Okay.
If you're on the queue, it's because you want to go and buy from where it is cheaper.
Okay.
But some of us that we are used to buying it in the north for probably the highest value in the country. Anytime we find ourselves coming down south, we drive into any filling station, fill up our tank, and we move on. Because everybody can now compete. Everybody can now sell their price at the right price. So you can stock. So you can compete. The same thing with electricity. That was the idea. Now, if you're able to produce 10 megawatts and you're able to charge for full cost of 10 megawatts, and the government is not owing, because if the government is paying off the subsidy that they claim they have, maybe it would have been even easier. But again, I'm not a spokesperson for government, but if you look at the direction of our present administration, for me, it's one of the most beautiful things to happen to this country, because now Nigerians can now get value for the money that they are paying. Where we have problem is if you are given 20, if you are put on 20 hours minimum power supply per day and you are not getting it. This is where I have problem with our regulators themselves. When you are not able to effectively monitor the policy that you put in place. That is one. Two, in recent time, right, in the last 2 years, Uncle Yori, one of the campaigns I've been on is that we are doing ourselves a big disservice by allowing the bulk consumers. When I say bulk consumers, I mean the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria, all our industries, to go off-grid, to do IPPs. We are doing ourselves a lot of disservice because these are the core tenants that are supposed to make electricity cheaper for consumers. I mean, even if you are paying the true cost, going to the work, to do your work in your manufacturing company will afford you to run the economy, to run your own businesses, I mean, to run your private affairs, like paying for electricity in your houses. But we don't have that. We have exposed our manufacturers, and these are the people that are supposed to make the grid to be stable. Now, on the reverse of this, if we even insist that we want to do cross-subsidy, these are the people that are supposed to do, because they are using it to generate income themselves, right? They are using it to do their business. It is better for them to remain on that grid because it's going to be cheaper for them. Then you can have cross-subsidize and say, okay, pay a little bit higher, but consumers will benefit because you are paying higher. We have allowed the core tenants that are supposed to hold our grid to go off-grid. This is part of the problem that we are facing right now because the manufacturers are supposed to be the grid main tenant that were supposed to run our economy are leaving. In fact, many of them have left. If my estimation is right, over 80% of these people are no more on the grid. The medium and small scale enterprises are also supposed to be on the grid. Everybody is running away from, by doing their generator. A lot of houses are even going on solar.
Yeah.
This feedback effect is that tariff will continue to hike because there is no way they will generate and put on the grid the inefficiencies and everything that comes with it that will not have a blowback. Somebody will have to pay for that cost. Government that says they are paying, as we speak today, over 5.6 trillion. Do you know what that means? If you put that 5.3 trillion back into the power sector, most of these complaints that we're having, we won't be having it because these schools will not have money to buy transformers. They will be able to fund metering. They will be able to pay the market operators. Now, Gencos will be able to pay for the gas that they are consuming themselves. It's a cascading effect. That affect the whole value chain. So we need to sit down. And again, I think I've spoken about the Power Consumer Advocacy Assistance Fund on this platform as well. That was what the Electricity Act 2023 stipulated that government should do. Remove subsidy, implement the Power Consumer Assistance Fund. Basically, what the Power Assistance Consumer Fund is talking about is that in my house, for instance, I'm on band A, right? But okay. I am being assisted by government, say to cover the first 50 kilowatt hour consumption in the month, right? That way, we can easily calculate how much our exposure to subsidy will be. The people that are also not rich in the society will be able to have some sort of support from government. But once my consumption reaches a particular threshold, I'm on my own. It's like a man that drives a bicycle, a motorcycle, and a man that drives a V8 engine car that is running, that maybe his tank is 120 liters. Meanwhile, the one that they are doing in a motorcycle, maybe just 20 liters. You know that the kind of support that the two of them need are quite different. I have 10 ACs, I have 5 ACs in my house, or I have 6 ACs in my house. That means I can afford it. That's why I installed it.
Okay.
I should not be having the same kind of support that somebody that doesn't even have AC in his house be having, because we are already not in the same level naturally. So I expect that government by now will have activated the Power Consumer Assistance Fund so that relief will be given to all Nigerians at a level. Government themselves will not have to continue to commit themselves to paying subsidy that they are not even able to afford in the first instance. Now, recently when the Gencos went to meet with Mr. President in Aso Rock, they came out and said, okay, they wanted to raise a bond so that they can pay them off. That's not the solution, because even if you pay them off the 5-point-something trillion today, in another 1 year, that money, that debt will continue to accumulate.
Okay.
You know, but
Mr. Adigben,
yes.
Mr. Adigben, let me find out something. Look at
yes,
the Enugu situation there.
Yes.
Enugu has been coming up with what has been music to the ears of consumers. What? I'm looking at it here, something like 112,000, 112 naira wholesale price. They've brought it down to 45 naira. How are they having those quote-unquote successes in Enugu?
All right. It's not a success, Uncle Yori. If you have been following what's happening in Enugu State, incidentally, I am one of those that has also written publicly in media, and I think I've spoken about 1 or 2 TV stations too on it as well, that what Enugu has just done, right, it's a good thing. I am one of the major, in fact, I'm one of the pioneer champions of state electricity markets in this country. As far back as 2014, 2015, I've been pushing for states to also get involved. One of the first letters, public letters, open letters I wrote to Minister Babatunde Fashola when he was the triple minister under Power Works and Housing, was to preach the importance of decentralizing electricity in Nigeria. As at then, they had to do a constitutional review to move, to remove the bottlenecks for states to be able to come in and regulate electricity in their market. Now, if Enugu State is generating, if they have licensed GenCos in their state, and they are generating electricity in their state at that rate, there won't be any problem. In fact, for Enugu State, they can stay off the national grid if they're able to achieve that within their state. But the problem here starts from the fact that Enugu State does not generate power. The one that they want to regulate, they're not generating it. It's from the national grid. National grid says the cost of this thing to you is at 112. Yes. You turned around and say you want to sell it at 45 naira.
Yes.
Now, part of the problem with it is this, and I've argued this thing before. Number one, what Enugu State tried to do, I call it populist as well, the populist idea, because they know a lot of people will applaud it. That is one. Two, they have not told us how they, Uncle Yori, you're the one that make bread. I'm the one that sells bread. You brought your bread to me and say, sell it at 1,000 naira. And I said, what does Uncle Yori mean? He's not buying flour at 2 naira, so I'm going to sell it at 800 naira. Will you continue to sell to me?
I see.
Won't you ask me how I am going to make up the extra 200 naira from you?
So
what Enugu has done is to try and throttle the price of electricity from the grid, which is not theirs to do.
Okay.
That is one of the major arguments. Now, part of the resultant effect of it is this. I'm sure if you ask people from Enugu, in Enugu today, they will tell you electricity supply to that place has dropped almost by 80%. Because Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, that's the mother company of Main Power, says that if they take energy at national grid at 112 and you want us to sell it at 45 naira, who's going to bear the difference?
That's 69 naira difference.
That's 69 difference. Who's going to bear the difference? So that's why I said it is populist. And again, I also say Enugu missed it at that point, because the importance of state electricity market and regulation is for you to encourage investment into your state. So if you are telling investors that the cost of their doing their business is none of your headache, as long as they can dash it to people for free, which investors do you think will go to Enugu State to go and set up anything? Well, I doubt it. I don't think anybody will go there.
I agree with you, but 1 second, please.
Sorry.
Adamu in Adamawa has come on the line. Good morning to you, Mr. Adamu. Hello, Mr. Adamu, can you hear us? Good morning. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Adamu. Adamu?
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Very well. Please go ahead.
Please, I'm watching you on, I'm watching you. Hello, are you with me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, please, I saw a NASS to scrap an ABCD, electricity tariff categories. Seriously, we are in support of it. If at all the National Assembly can do that, if they have the liver to do that, scrap it. I think it's a welcome development in this country.
Well, somebody is just saying our in-house guest. You can't hear us. You can't hear us. You can't hear us. Mr. Adamu, our guest, who is an expert, is saying that it's not really the National Assembly's province to do that.
Yes.
Whereas you are commending them and saying that, if they have the liver to do that, fine. But our guest is saying that there are authorities, there are regulators. It isn't the province of the National Assembly to do that, is what our guest has just said. Did you hear me, sir? Mr. Adamu. Oh, okay, let me go back to you, Mr. Ad. Maybe it's the weather. I don't think. But you heard what, to come back to you, Mr. Adegbinle, that guy was busy commending people. That,
Yes, I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard that.
This is the way we should be.
That
is why you said it can be populist. This whole idea.
It is a populist idea. Honestly, let me tell you something. If Mr. President had waited to consult Nigerians on removing fuel subsidy, what do you think they would have done?
If the president could have consulted with Nigerians.
No. If the president had waited to consult with Nigerians on removing fuel subsidy,
it won't be removed by now.
They won't agree.
They won't agree, and so it would not have been removed by now.
Exactly. But people will have continued to go on queue every December, January. Anytime dollar goes up and the importers refuse to bring in fuel, we will have continued to stay on the queue. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
I understand that we have spent so many years under government, spoon feeding Nigerians, and a lot of people don't understand the consequences of most of the of our economic, our economic decisions. It does not just affect our pocket; it affects every other indices in our livelihood in Nigeria.
Every aspect.
In fact, let me tell you something, Uncle Yori. One of the biggest indices that index numbers is a corruption index number.
Yeah.
Because it
I hear you.
fits directly into corruption.
Okay. One moment, sir. One moment, sir. Let me bring on Mr. Yakub, who has been... Good morning, Mr. Yakub. Oh, dear. Mr. Yakubu, can you hear us? Yakub. 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 Mr. Yakub, can you hear us? Go ahead now. Mr. Yakub.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Yakub. Please go ahead. Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is very, I think, for I guess says that nations does not have power to regulate or to even spread the bandit and even to say at least we did this line. But as a layman,
well, so I'm very sorry, Yakub. It's the quality of this call. It's almost useless in terms of people hearing. So the networks, I think, are in something of a challenge. I was just talking about the downpour in many parts of Lagos, at least including where I am at. So very sorry about that, Mr. Yakub. If you can find a way to call us again, it might have cleared up the lines. Mr. Adegbinle, sorry to have interrupted you. You understand?
No, it's all right.
Okay,
it's all right.
So please continue, sir.
All right. So, I mean, our subsidy regime has fed into a lot of, in fact, if you look at all the corruption issues that we have in the country, right at the bottom of it is subsidy. When you are not paying the true costs for a service, you don't get to appreciate it. When you're not paying a true cost of a service, you don't, you get to waste it. I'll give you an instance. Look at fuel subsidy, for instance. I mean, we have all seen. Today, do we hear anybody coming back to say that they imported X amount of volume of PMS? No.
I
But
see.
don't forget that
Okay.
sometimes before the advent of this administration, those are the biggest talking points that we have. Almost every Nigerian knows how many volume of petrol has landed at our port.
Yes.
But now look at how unimportant that information is. Nobody is tracking that anymore.
Yes.
Do we want electricity? That's the first question we should ask ourselves. It is not going to come cheap.
Okay. I have one more caller on the line. Joseph in Abulegba.
Joseph from Abulegba.
Go ahead, please.
Let me ask the man.
Yes.
The loan they collected at the inset of this disco, the loan they collected, how did they spend it? They did not immediately spend it on the infrastructure. They went back in, and now they're now compelling us to pay for what money they have spent. They should give us the analysis of how the money they collected at the inception of disco, how they spent it. They can't be loading people with their own frivolity.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling in. So there you have it again. The allegation that it is their inefficiencies that are now that they now want to pass on to the whole society in Nigeria.
See, Ongoyori, that inefficiency that we're talking about is also as a consequence of the subsidy. Now that people are on band A, right? They're not paying subsidy anymore on band A. See the way they're asking questions on efficiency. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It is the same thing all through the economic gamut. If you are not, I'm trying to frame my thoughts very well here. You see, subsidy has contributed so much to the efficiencies that we are having. It was because they are subsidizing them that government themselves cannot even ask them to give account of the one that they have spent or the loans that they've been given. And government must take back that loan. Let me tell you one of the recent programs that they are doing presently that I am seriously against. And I have told everybody that cares to listen. Look at the presidential metering initiative that they claim to be doing. They have promised that 250,000 meters will have entered Nigeria. Nobody has set their eyes on it. All we've just been hearing out, don't worry, they will bring. They will bring in April, they will bring in May. We didn't see any one of them. It is government money. They can spend it anyhow. Let them give out feeders, areas to investors to go and meter. Do you understand? At no cost. They will be collecting their money when the people recharge on the meters for a period. Anybody that's interested in it, and the money will be deducted at source. We will take it this period. The investors will come in, pump their money. It is the same investor that will come and be monitoring those meters because they know that if the day they bypass the meter, their own payments will be throttled. So they will be coming to come and check. But every time you do a government policy that says go and put so amount of money in this program, you cannot give account. Let me tell you where they will start from. They will first of all appoint the fund manager.
Okay.
That will first of all take his own percentage. How do they come about the fund manager? Who's asking that question? Then, when they now disburse, of course, it is government money. So everybody has queued up to take their own share. So at the end of the day, they will tell you, we have done the project. But did they actually do it? Did they do it to specification? As we speak, Uncle Yori, there is not one single policy document outside on presidential metering initiative. The only thing anybody can say about PMI is what the essay on energy says once in a while. Even the Minister of Power has been he's been almost non-existent. He is supposed to be the one that will lead us in policy direction for Nigerian power sector. What policy do you ever see? Have you ever seen this particular Minister of Power, coming forward and preaching?
Okay,
these are the little challenges that we are having that I hope the presidency will address.
Indeed.
Honestly.
In fact, these are beyond little. These are more like medium to large.
Exactly.
But I tell you what, this is one of the things one of the ideas that, look, the National Assembly, so the thinking goes, is going to, bring it all back to the beginning and develop a policy framework, so the idea goes, so that we shall get this whole electricity thing on the right step. But let me come back. I know, sir. I know that you have...
It is not the National Assembly's duty to set policy for the power sector.
No, it isn't.
It is the minister's duty.
But they are saying, and you've said that you don't think it is their place. They are
what
saying
they are trying to do is not to regulate, what they are trying to do is to amend the Electricity Act 2023. That's what they're trying to do.
That's right.
And in all the key points that are there, scrapping band A, C, or D is not part of it.
Okay.
I have the document with me.
We'll take a break, and I will be right back, and we'll find out more about this. Thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you very much for staying with us. We'll be right with you. In fact, Benga in Abuja has called in while we were away, and he's standing by. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Good morning. Thank you for calling.
Good morning to your guest.
All right, then. Thank you.
I followed the program from the beginning.
Okay.
And I want to give him a thumbs up for giving facts, not being emotional, for being objective. The National Assembly has no right to scrap or to regulate.
To recommend. To recommend the scrapping of. Not that they said.
Recommend.
They never said that they are looking for a way to scrap it, but to recommend it.
Okay. Because you also said NASS is your government said NASS to scrap. So where they make recommendation, it's now left for the regulator to see how workable it is. But I'm telling you, not that what he said, it's only band A that is paying the actual amount of energy consumed in Nigeria.
And even that is not being, the delivery to band A customers is not even that efficient.
No. Mr. Yori, I'm living in Abuja here. Where I am, in lifetime, I'm enjoying band A.
20 hours.
I say it again. The money I pay for it, I'm enjoying it. I paid, it's a 2-bedroom flat. I pay 10,000 naira for 4 to 5 days, meaning about 40,000 naira a month. When the power is off, within 2-3 minutes they return it back, unless there's a major fault, either from the feeder or within our local network. If there's a problem with the network, once you call them, they make back a priority because they want the money.
Okay.
Let me say, Mr. Yodi, Band A gets the highest number of energy allocation because they believe that you will consume it and buy more. They want you to spend the money because you pay. Anyway, you have a prepaid meter, you consume it. They want to buy more because you are the one paying the optimum, the premium price for energy. Anywhere there's problem with Band A is local, maybe transformer pole and rest, and attend to it. I'm enjoying Band A, and I want it more because before, to on generation in the night, I'm afraid of it because it's my neighbor. But now I can work in the night throughout.
Yes. I
can program myself when I wake up and work. I'm not afraid that there will be power failure. Before I spent 6,000 naira on generator every month. Which one is cheaper for me? Now I spend only 6,000 naira on Band A. No noise. I don't disturb any neighbor. Band A is the in thing. If you want to get electricity well in Nigeria, you have to pay the actual amount for it. People want cheaper things in quality service. It does not work like that. You can't get it right like that.
Okay.
The point of debt on government is because people don't want to pay the right amount. And there's no way we can get it right if we remain in that condition because that $3 being owed the energy sector, the GENCOs and the DINCOs, if they pay them, they will increase their capacity, they will replace all these overloaded transformer and the rest, and you get better value for service. But the more government is owing them, they will not expect anything better from them. Thank you very much, Mr. Yori.
Thank you very much for calling in, Benga. Appreciate it. Well, you're getting applause there, but he is, and I'm very happy that he has come as a consumer. He's detached, he's disinterested. So he, as a consumer, he even said the words, look, I'm enjoying it because I am getting what I am paying for. But a lot of Nigerians will be looking at him with corner eye because they can't afford it.
there in Yoruba, we call electricity ino ijoba, right? You see, that is part of the beginning of our problem.
Public power supply.
Sir?
Public power.
Exactly. No, it's not in public power. Joba in Yoruba means that this is government thing. And I believe it was until one old Baba in the north, right? I stay in the north. And similar to Benga's experience, I live in Jos and I have supply, regular supply. I don't have a generator of Yori for the past 5 years. Now, when Baba explained the etymology of government light, government water, right?
Yes.
That's when I understand many of the root cause of our problem in Nigeria.
I see.
Under the colonial era, it was only the white man that used to own cars and drive on roads. So when you see any paved road, it was not for the masses. It was for government people. They were the one that started piping water into homes. They were the one that started electricity. It was all relics of colonial thinking. So when we started our self-rule, right, we saw it as government light. So if we can also be enjoying what a white man, our colonial masters were enjoying, right? And since it is government light, it can come at no cost.
Yeah.
Because government will bear the cost. Now, you see that root cause of our mentality.
So that's where all the misconceptions come from. But
that's where the beginning. That is the beginning of our misconception.
Okay. One moment. Now, Mr. Yakub has called back in. I think it's better now. Good morning, Mr. Yakub. Okay.
Yeah, yes, I've come back. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, we can hear you a lot better now.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. What I'm trying to say earlier is that if we said the National Assembly has no right to even say or they propose to scrap this band A, band B, or C, or up to Z, as case may be. On what law, on what basis that the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission stand? Is it not the same National Assembly that made the law that we are by the Nigeria Regulatory Commission stand? Now, Chief Yori, we are talking about band A, band B, band C. For me, it is a scam. I stand to be corrected. You see, Chief Yori, here in our area, a station whereby some of us that already even bought a meter sometimes ago with our own personal money. Yeah. And then the same meter got fault. I think I've said this several times on this same platform. The same meter got fault, and then the NEPA, so-called NEPA people comes around. And in fact, my own meter does not even get fault. You still have a 16-point-something unit on it. And then they took it away on basis that the meter is outdated. Okay, yes, I agree this meter is outdated, as you said. Okay, replace this meter for me. They were telling me that I should go and buy another one until I took them to La Scopa in Lagos State here. And then they are not instruct them that even though the meter got fault, their responsibility is to replace the meter immediate effect. And then failure to replace the meter, they had not to give me the estimated bill, which they will bring, which I'm paying. Until now, that they are giving me almost 20-something thousand, and then before they remove that meter, I manage my prepaid meter to the extent that I'm using 5,500 naira in a month, because I don't really need the light in the daytime. In the night when I need the light, I just on like a 2 bulb and some other little fan. I manage the light by myself. In order for me not to.
I get you. I get what you were trying to explain.
Quick one, sir. If we say National Assembly does not have right, let me give you another example here. Quick one. Hello, sir.
I can hear you.
The people that is giving us GoTV that I'm using to watch you now, you buy GoTV, you subscribe to the GoTV, and then they tell you that at the end of the month, the money, whether you are at home or you are not at home, in as much as the end month, the money goes. So who regulating them? So we need National Assembly here. They are doing the right thing. They should continue to do that. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. Now I'm happy that we heard you out. Mr. Adibwe, so he's saying what you heard the point he's making.
Mr. Yakub is conflagrating issue here. He has said the first statement he made was band ABC is calm, right? Then he now buttressed his point by saying they brought meter, his meter got burnt. There are two different issues. If we are talking about the number of hours of supply, it's a different issue. If you are talking about the issue of metering, thank God I've mentioned that issue of metering here right now. You know, for me, these are the kind of challenges I believe we have and I believe we can resolve. Again, what we are supposed to be experiencing is power sector reform. I am not happy that our regulators and our policymakers are not moving fast enough, reacting fast enough to challenges in the market. For me, if I were to become a regulator today, that's what I will push for. First of all, what is the basic unit that electricity needs? If the consumption cannot be measured at the consumer end, that's where we start having problem going up.
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
Consumers should be metered. The discos have shown that they don't have the resources to meter Nigerians. That's why my organization and myself pushed for what turned out to be an independent metering service provider then, which Mr. Fashola pushed NEC, because it's a policy head, pushed to NEC for NEC to come up with what we call the meter asset provider today, which is where people like Mr. Yahoo can go and pay and buy meter by themselves, right? And they're expected to get their money back in energy. But I'm saying, even at that, they are still cheating consumers.
Yes, because
give it to investors. Yes. Excise it from the discos. What we are talking about is hardware here. Excise this part from discos and say, Mr. Adegbele, can you provide meter for everybody in Egbeda at your cost? But when the people in Egbeda are recharging, every 2 naira or 100 naira from their recharge, we use to pay for your meter until we pay off that meter cost. Okay. Then you can move on. Now,
but we couldn't do that, could we? But we couldn't do that. And these are part of the inefficiencies that we're talking about.
We see, Uncle Yomi, I've been in advocacy sector for the past 15 years of my life. And one thing I can tell you for free is this, that many times when you start pushing an idea, they don't get to see it until maybe circumstances happen. Maybe somebody like Minister Fashola takes it up and say, oh yeah, go and look into that idea and give me feedback on it. Then they are forced to work on it. You know, I'm telling you today, if I happen to be in any regulatory position to enforce that, that's what I will do. Then we can now close our eyes and know that the whole of Lagos State is 100% metered. We are moving to Oyo State. So while we are in Lagos State, somebody says, don't worry, I will be waiting for you in Oyo State. Let me continue in Oyo State. We'll give him to him. Then we know that the whole of Ibadan is metered. Then we move to Shaki. Then we move to Oshogbo. You know, like that. Now, what that does is, let me tell you something. It's like your telephone. Uncle Yori, I'm not sure that the phone you are using presently, I'm sure you bought it less than a year ago.
Yeah.
Good. It's same thing. So why do you think the lifespan of a meter is between 8 and 15 years maximum, depends on the quality, right? So what it means that even the metering scheme that they did 10, 15 years ago, all those meters are outdated today. Meanwhile, the number of customers that need to be metered, connected to the grid, keeps increasing. That's why we can never meet up with the metering gap with the present approach that we are using. Excise it from discourse. Let the provision of hardware be given to investors. Come and invest. Come and install 1 million meters. We are going to collect your money over the next 3 years. I can do my maths. Any bank that I want to collect money from, we can see the spreadsheet. Even the people that are on the grid, but they are not collecting their money, because that's another big issue that a lot of people don't talk about. We have people on the grid that are connected, that the marketers are the one collecting money from them and putting in their pocket. But if Aditayo goes there, I will capture all of them. And I will send people that will be working every week. They will come and be visiting my meter. It's my meter until you finish paying for it. Then, when they now give supply to such areas, you know that the consumer will consume just what he has, he will pay for what he has consumed. Right? Then the discos will now start looking at what other inefficiencies are there in the place. Maybe it's the transformer that is causing them to lose energy. They will come and change the transformer, because now we can now all see the money to pay for that loss will not come again from estimated bills. we can all see where the loss is coming from. So they will come and change the transformer.
Okay.
Probably take it to another place that need higher capacity. I was passing Lokoja on Tuesday or Wednesday. I was in Lokoja on Tuesday or Wednesday. And I saw a community that have not had light in the last 2 years because the transformer there has lower capacity than to the demand there. So the AEDC people there will fix the transformer. The transformer will get burnt in another 2-3 weeks. And they will go back to them and say they should contribute money to, which is not even their duty to contribute money to.
Indeed.
But imagine that they have metered everybody in that area. If AEDC is not giving them light, AEDC is not making a dime. So they will be forced to even go and borrow money to go and take transformer and fix it for that place so that that place can have power supply. That's what we're talking about. That's the whole idea behind.
I beg your pardon, sir. Let me bring on Kesandu. Mr. Kesandu has called in from Owerri. Good morning, Kesandu.
Good morning, Kuyori.
Yes, thank you for calling.
Good morning to your guest.
Yes.
I agree to what he has said to a very reasonable extent, especially when it comes to some of those reforms he just mentioned. But sir, you see, it's as if we are all Nigerians. Nobody is more Nigerian than another. Because this whole ban thing, I agree with the National Assembly or whoever that brought that proposal that we should do away with it and have a total reform of our electricity sector, the power sector. Because, sir, there are people, we can't, this thing that is being done in Nigeria today, this light that is being generated today, and some people are paying so heavily. Yeah, the man that's called, probably it is working in his place, and doesn't mean that it's working like that all over the country. That's the truth. If you can make investigations and inquiries, see that it's not really applicable like that in all over the country. So I am saying that while I agree with the National Assembly that we can actually scrap this thing, and I also agree with you that we can have a reform, so that wherever you are in Nigeria, you'll be able to have quality power supply and at a very cheap rate. Somebody cannot tell me that we want cheap things but we want good things. It's not true. It's not true. We can actually have this power affordable. We're not saying it's going to be completely free, no. But it has to be affordable and we should have it qualitatively. It is not too much as a country that every part of Nigeria should be having light 20 hours a day. And it will not be heavy as 40,000 even a day. If you calculate the unit, will not be as heavy as that man was mentioning. It's not really true. How much is that minimum
Mr. Kesandu,
in this country?
thank you very much for calling in. Appreciate your call, but because of time, again, Mr. Adegbile, you heard that, and these are issues that we've continually grappled with. People want to pay what they consider a reasonable cost. They don't want to be as forthright as someone like you or Benga, who called in from Abuja, and other people who are saying that I am enjoying it. I mean, it's costing me something, but at least that's one less worry that I have. I don't have to worry about my generator. I don't have to worry about this. So one understands that. But is it not the case that most Nigerians, just like Kesandu was just saying, are not in a position to experience the goodwill from NARC that we are talking about? And so Yakub even went as far as saying that it's a scam. You know, we've run out of time, but I think you've succeeded in letting us understand that the whole idea of scrapping ABCD, those bans, in your opinion, that plan is misguided. It's not really the fix that we need. Am I right in summarizing like that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. Just because of logistics of time. But I want to thank you very much, Mr. Aditayo.
It's always a pleasure talking to you, sir.
CEO Power Up Nigeria. Thank you very much. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Iyori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.